What's up, Facebook? Welcome to My Life Monday with Mike, your mentor, coming at ya. Thought I'd be a little extra goofy for you today, since My Life Monday. I don't always know what to do. But yeah, welcome. Appreciate you tuning in. If you're watching the replay, I appreciate you as well. Show me some love. If you're new to this page, the premise is simple. Mentors make a difference in your life. And mentors made a huge, significant difference in my life growing up and now. I went through a lot of difficult stuff as a child, as a teenager, and as a young adult. And the two things that got me through it, there were more than two, but the primary two things were the grace of God. Without God, I wouldn't be here. And number two was mentors. Mentors in books that I was reading that gave me hope, that inspired me to get outside my bubble, to see what the world has to offer, and to not limit myself by my limited thinking or my limited beliefs or my limited perspective. That I just needed to. I needed some hope, right? And their stories about how they were able to overcome tremendous odds gave me hope and encouraged me to seek out help, to seek out things that I hadn't been exposed to. And I had mentors personally in my life that came alongside of me, and they took time and they sowed and invested into me. And what that looked like was, I had coaches that loved on me. I had other parents on the community that loved on me, and I had father figures who were fathers of friends that would take me to lunch, would invite me over to their house to spend time with their family, and I was able to just watch these men and some ladies as well in these situations love on their family and treat others with respect and kindness, honor the things that they had been given charge of in their life, job, kids, money, community, place of place of stature in church, whatever that looks like, and just to watch them do life. And even though I didn't have a dad who was there in my life very constantly, I think that's the right grammatical sentence, holy cow. I was able to watch these people and learn from them. And that's one thing I want to not caution you, but I just want to remind you is that someone is always watching, right? Someone is always watching from a distance what you're doing and how you're behaving and the decisions that you make. And I was that kid growing up. You may not have known it because I was pretty introverted, and I was just kept to myself and did a lot of deep thinking at times, and wasn't extremely vocal unless I got super wound up or super angry or just fed up with whatever was going on. Then I would speak up, and the lion inside of me would come out because enough was enough. But if I wasn't that way, I was definitely watching every move, every word. Did your actions line up with what you spoke? So tonight, for My Life Monday, I share what's been going on in my life for the past week. And tonight's going to be short. There's one particular thing that's on my heart to share with you guys. And I want to share with you a simple strategy that you can use to deal with negative thoughts in your life and how you overcome a negative mindset. And this is something that I got to practice frequently, right? Because the world has a way of bringing us down. The world has a way of things just happening to us. It's part of life. One of the laws of science is entropy, and that just simply means, things are going to deteriorate over a long enough period of time, and we deal with that in life. Things happen. We get old, our bodies break down. Murphy's Law kicks in, circumstances happen. It's not a matter of when, it's just a matter of, it's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when. People die unexpectedly. Things like that happen all the time, and they can wreak havoc on our minds if we're not mentally fit to handle those. And my advice would be to work on your mental fitness now before you find yourself in one of those situations, and you're less likely to feel like you're drowning in your own circumstance. You'll be able to better I don't know, stay afloat, keep your head above water. May still be difficult, but it'll be better than drowning. And the reason I bring this up is because, man, I just tell you what, I don't know. There's something like for the last 2 weeks, um, my mindset has just been piss. At times, I'm there. I don't vocalize it, but in my mind, I am just it's going crazy. I'm just unsure of myself, not feeling confident, timid, um, passive, not expecting God's greater good, not expecting favor when I'm moving into a situation. And God, reminded me of something today, and it's this little exercise. And, we have to remind ourselves constantly of what is true, right? What is true about us. And we have to feed our mind those truths. And if we're not feeding our mind with those truths, then our mind is going to feed our minds with negative truth, with lies. The world is going to feed our minds with lies. So one of the tricks, tactics, whatever you want to call, it's just me meditating on this stuff, and just reminding myself over and over of this, so it can continue to be ingrained in my mind, is what I know is true about me. Now, the way that I would suggest that you go about doing this, is that you get in a quiet place and you get out a piece of paper and you pray and you ask God for Him to show you what is true about yourself, right? Because I believe that God is the author of life. He is the creator, and the creator knows what's best for His creation and what is true about His creation. And then just start writing down the things that come to mind. So I'll share a couple of mine with you. I'd make a top 5 list, maybe carry it in your back pocket, maybe have it on your phone. So when you start to feel these negative thoughts, and the pressure and everything that comes with that, you can remind yourself of this. So the first one that I got to remind myself is, I have a lot to offer people. And that, I didn't always think that. I still don't always think that, but it is true. I've been through a lot in life, a lot more than most people my age, a lot more than most people double my age. And there's wisdom in that stuff. And for me to be able to share it can make people, does make people's lives better. So I do have a lot to offer. And I need to fight that thought that says that I don't. The second thing is people are interested in what I have to say. I know that just seems simple and kind of ironic. You're on Facebook doing a live, talking to people, and some people are watching. And you want to know what? Believe it or not, and that I am doing that, sometimes it doesn't make that any easier. And the devil gets in there and he tells me, who are you to speak? Who are you to share with these people and to give them advice on how they should live their life, right? And I got to come against that with truth. And the truth is, people are interested in what I have to say. And it doesn't matter how many. It doesn't matter if it's 1 or 100,000. It's about the message, and it's about helping somebody. And if I can help one person, then that makes it worth it. And sometimes I have a hard time dealing with that, especially in today's world where everybody wants to be, not everybody, but where there's a lot of pressure to be relevant, to be important, to be what's the word? Not like famous, but to have people look up and admire you. And it's hard to fight that, and it's hard to not want to get, I guess, selfish and think that about yourself, It's human nature, the ego. I got you. I got you, Martin. I'm right here with you, brother. So the third thing that I got to remind myself is I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Right? There's only one Mike King. Now, there's thousands of Mike Kings on Facebook, but this is the only Mike King. In fact, this is the only. I'm going to share a little secret with you. Mike King is not my full name. There is only one John Michael James King, and that's me. And I've got a certain purpose to fulfill in this life and on this world, and nobody else can fulfill that purpose. And you have a specific purpose that God made you for, that no one else can fulfill that purpose. And who are we to keep that from the world? Right? Who are we to keep that from others? And we have no idea the ripple effect that we play in the lives of other people by just acting and being ourselves. Thanks, bro. Appreciate that. Fourth is, I'm a generous and loving person. I am, and I have to remind myself of that. That I do give, and I do love. And once again, this is another simple thing. And I don't know what your things are for you, and what the devil comes against you with, and what lies he tries to tell you. But I can promise you this: the lies that he constantly repeats to you are found in your greatest purpose. So let me give you an example. Man, I get attacked about truth all the time, right? And it goes back to that. Who are you to give advice to these people? Who are you to say what's true or not to these people? And right, I talk about this all the time. Wisdom, the wisdom knows no bias. It's like gravity, right? It's not, there is no gray area. It's true or it's not true. You wanting to accept it as truth or not is a completely different thing. That doesn't mean that it's not true or that it's not. And the devil is always attacking me on what I think I know to be true. And this is part of this whole exercise, right? Reminding myself I like truth. I want to know what's true. It doesn't matter to me what side of the line it falls on, what political spectrum, whose feelings are hurt, if that's mine or not. I want to know the truth, so that once I have the truth, then I can do what I need to do with it and deal effectively with my life. So finally, this last one, and that's I have the ability to figure things out. Man, there's some things that have just, my neck is, some things in the last 2 weeks that have been tough. Not bad, but just tough. I've had to learn some new things. I've had to go back to doing some old things that I thought I was past and I wouldn't have to do again. And there's a lot of sometimes fear there. There's a lot of intimidation. And I just got to remind myself that I have the ability to figure things out. And that ability has served me my whole life. It's gotten me to where I am. That belief that God has given me the ability to figure things out. And He will bring whatever resources I need into my life. I hear you, Martin. Yeah, not being good enough. I can relate to that. Just remember that and the other thing too about not being married, right? There's a time and place. Look how far you've come. I mean, just since I reunited with you, and the character that you have today versus what you have, right? And so I know that that's a desire of your heart to want to have a steady woman and to be married. But just remember, God's been bringing you through this refining process to make you a new man, so that when He brings you His daughter, right, to you and says, hey, Martin, this is my daughter, I'm giving her to you in marriage, you need to take care of that. You're now that man who can do that, right? And you can break any generational curse that exist in your family line when it comes to being a father and when it comes to being a man. And the other truth is that you are good enough. We've all got things we constantly need to work on, and God is constantly refining us for our purpose, right? Our purpose here on earth and our purpose after this life. But I know you, man, and I know your heart. And don't let the enemy beat you down with those lies. You know what? You are good enough, and God has got you right where He needs you. And if I had a number 6 on my list, this would be my advice to you: is just to remember, too, that we need to slow down. It's all about the journey. It's not about the destination, right? Let's experience the growth. Let's sit in this whatever phase of life, whatever, however you want to describe it, this place that we're at, right? That we're both at in our individual lives, and let's learn the lessons that we need to learn so that we don't have to repeat those in the future, and that's all part of the process. So thanks for sharing that, bro, and I appreciate you. So that's it for tonight. I really want to encourage you, it's one thing to think these things, and I don't know what it is, but there's like some power. There's something about writing things down. So I would encourage you, get alone, pray to God, ask Him to speak these truths to you, and then make some notes, and then carry that around with you on your phone or on a piece of paper in your pocket. So when the enemy tries to come at you, you can pull that out and just remind yourself, nope, not true. This is what my dad says about me. This is what my Creator says about me. This is who I am. And that just shuts it down. And I need that pep talk for myself. I need to hear myself say that and to come into agreement and alignment with what I know is true, rather than to beat myself up and to try to feed the fire that the enemy wants to start. Because the enemy wants to come to steal, kill, and destroy. It's that simple. So I appreciate you guys being with me tonight. As always, if you need anything, you know how to get a hold of me. I'm here for you however I can help. And we'll see you guys tomorrow for Tuesday Thoughts. Have a great night. Love you guys. Bye.